What's up, guys? It's your boy JK Primetime. I'm back here with another video. Now we're gonna look at the Brooklyn Nets and their draft outlook. So we're gonna look at the needs, what they're really looking for to draft, and give 4 or 5 prospects that would really fit around their draft position, and obviously those needs that they have. So to start with the overall with their picks, they have the 29th pick overall. So in the first round, they have the 40th pick overall, and they traded the 40. They had the 45th, but they traded it for that and a 20 with Timothy Mozgov and a 2021 second round draft pick and some cash to the Hornets for Dwight Howard. Now to quickly speak on that, because Dwight Howard is obviously a starting caliber player. With the trade, I'm iffy on it because we already have Jared Allen, and Jared Allen seems like he'll be maybe not like a star center, but he looks like he can provide stability at that center spot. So with Howard in there, obviously they can't play next to each other because spacing would be terrible when you throw, God forbid you throw Hollis Jefferson, Allen, and Howard. The lack of shooting is just terrible, especially there's really no 3-point shooting with those three. The spacing would definitely suffer because of that. So probably with Dwight Howard coming here, Jared Allen would probably play the bench, because I don't know if you Dwight Howard put up 16 and 12 last year. I don't really think he's going to be someone that's going to be riding the bench for the team. So I'm very iffy on that. I know their main goal is to just get an expiring contract because they want to be ready for the 2019 offseason, because now with that they have 2 slots for a max salary player. So they're really preparing to go big in free agency, obviously, in the next couple years, and then they're going to have their own picks as well, starting next year, the year after, 2019, so next year. So I understand why they want to get an expiring contract. For the Hornets, they get 2 second-round picks. Timothy Mozgov, he's not going to play. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they bought him out. He still has 2 years, and I think $16 million on both of those. So they really got rid of a expiring contract to get 2 years added on. I guess they're not going to be a playoff team anytime soon, and they're already bogged down with contracts like Nicholas Batum. It's kind of they weren't really going to be having a huge amount of cap space anyway. But either way, going back to the draft picks here. When it comes to the Nets, their priority really, when it comes to their needs, is they need, just to be honest, best player available. They just need some kind of assets to be able to handle long term and to build a foundation of a team around, because God forbid, even if they do get a star player in that 2019 free agency, they are still going to need other players coming off the bench and young players that are talented. To go more in particular, they definitely could use more. They could add wings, shooters, and two-way players. Because with them, ball movement's key. So have, two-way players. 3-and-D guys are definitely rising in value, especially recent years. And just shooters, it's now that's just the NBA in general. It's all about spacing. So the more shooters these days, the better. But to start off, when it comes to that 29th pick, 2 or 3 guys that I'm really looking at. First, I'll start with Anthony Simmons. Now, when it comes to Simmons, position-wise, he's not the best. He's a point guard. He's listed as a combo guard, so a point guard, point guard / shooting guard. He's only 6'3", 185. He does have a 6'7" wingspan, though, so, he could definitely play the shooting guard position. But the good thing about him is that he's not really someone that is he's not super athletic. He doesn't have much of playmaking ability, so you could throw him next to D'Lo. D'Lo 6'5", so you could throw Anthony Simmons at the 6'3" spot, or even slot him at point guard and just move D'Lo over to the shooting guard position. Well, Simmons' defense is not the best. It's still, not completely terrible. It's average. The only thing is that a lot of the comparisons he's getting is, could be seen. The comparisons I've seen is like Joseph Young / Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis, good scorer. If he can come in, even off the bench, just come in and just, provide some buckets. He's a pretty decent. He can, he's free throw shooting. He's above average athleticism. He can score. He, with the Under Armour Association, he got 1.3 steals. So he's definitely someone that is, at worst, somewhat of a two-way player. And also with him is that he could score, which is something we kind of need because, we need guys. While he's not a wing player, he still fits the mold of what we need. He's still a good young player, and he can shoot and also, it seems, play at least average defense. So next we have here is Moritz Wagner. He's a power forward slash center from Michigan. He is 6'11", 240. He's a pick and pop guy though, so he can shoot. He's not very very athletic. And he kind of struggles with free throws, which kind of iffy when it comes to his shot and how it's going to translate, because normally, at least, especially with the mid-range and even the three, a good free throw is that first thing they look at, because it gives a look on how, if you have a good free throw percentage, there's a chance that you can improve your jump shot to those same levels. But with him, he's 6'11", 7-foot wingspan, and he just seems like a guy, especially with having Jared Allen next to us. You could slot him in a power forward. He's a good shooter. He helps space the floor. He could be a pick and pop threat. In the pick and roll, the athleticism is going to hurt him on defense, but even as like a bench player, like a Kelly Olynyk, Channing Frye, he's definitely someone, especially as a late first, if we can get a solid role player for us coming off the bench, especially at that power forward spot, that would help, especially because he has a jump shot, which is something like, even if you throw, for example, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson at the 4, he has a mid-range, but he doesn't really have much of a 3. Moritz Wagner is better of a 3-point shooter, and I think he would fit better, even though he doesn't necessarily have the athleticism that someone like Sean Marks really likes. Next, he could slide into late first, or could be a second-round pick, but for me, I could see him going late first. Is Keita Bates-Diop. Now, he's a small forward slash power forward from Ohio State. Now, when it comes to him, to be honest, NBA comparison, makes sense. He's seen as like a Luka Bahamute. He's a guy, he's length, he's athleticism, he's, 6'8", but has a 3.25 wingspan. He can play defense. He has somewhat of a jump shot, at least, at worst. He is already a sharp defender. If he can get a jump shot, he'd be a great 3-and-D player and would be, I think, perfect. And with his athleticism combined with the defense and shooting at least potential, he definitely sees like someone who'd be worth taking a first-round pick on. ESPN, / Draft Express, sees him as a guy that would be perfect for us. With him, he has the tools, or at least the potential, to guard multiple positions, make a 3, and, do things like that, which is perfect for what is current in the NBA and, what we need. He is 22 though, so he is older, so potential-wise, you don't know exactly how much better he's going to get. But length-wise, when you throw D'Lo, who is a 6'10 wingspan, LeVert with a 6'10 wingspan, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson at 7'2", Diop at 7'4", and Allen at 7'5", the length on that lineup is just, insane. Now, while I don't know how, Bates-Diop's, stroke is a little inconsistent. I don't know how he would play with Rondae Hollis-Jefferson next to him. But just in general, even coming off the bench, it'd be great. Defense, shooting. He's a 3-and-D guy, and his wingspan, it's kind of hard to really beat that, especially with where we are. We need young players to really, be able to carry us. We're trying to develop guys, and I think he's someone that would be worth taking a first round, or even maybe our second round pick if he falls that far, taking him there. Now, next one, which I haven't heard too much about him. He's an international player. His name is Danzan Musa. He is a international small forward. He's he plays in Bosnia. He's definitely a guy who I see him getting with early second. He could be a guy that falls into the first round. When it comes to, looking at, for example, like NBA Draft.net. They have Musa going somewhere in the early second, I think, here. Yeah, they have him going to us at 40. So I think he's a guy that would be good for us. He's comparable to Bojan Bogdanovic, who I actually likes having on our team. He was a good shooter. He was one of his best. Seeing from what I've heard about him, seeing his stats. He's regarded as one of the best scorers in Europe, at least in his generation. He's great ability to score. It's the one thing that he can, translate to the next level, and he can play multiple positions because being at 6'9", 195. So with him, he provides a lot of versatility and scoring ability that we would need. Now he doesn't have the defense that we would like, but he could still be a great shooter for us. And again, be like a Bogdanovich, be a role player off the bench and just come in and be able to space the floor, like really, what we need. And with the second round pick, I really see us going with a young. I could see us going with a guard, a wing player. I think if we could go with a big man, we would definitely go first round pick with that. Early second round, I could see the wings because there's multiple options that you can choose from out of this list. I mean, and it depends on where everyone falls, of course. But I mean, there's some decent guys going. There's some decent guards going in that second round area that we could really hop on, like Josh Oki. I don't know exactly how to say his name, from Georgia Tech. He'd be a good player as well. So the last player we're going to talk about here. He's a point guard though, so again, position-wise, not the best. He's kind of like Simmons. He's a more of a combo guard, but doesn't really have that point guard in him at the moment. But it's Eli Okobo. He is from France. He's compared to Roderick Beaubois, which I don't know exactly how to feel about that. I mean, Beaubois was not spectacular. He was, decent bench player for the, especially on those, when he was his first couple years on the Mavericks. He's left-handed. He's a nice frame. I mean, he's a 6'8" wingspan, so he's that long wingspan that we like. He has athletic ability. He's not super explosive, but he does have some, he's still somewhat explosive. I mean, he can score in every way possible. He can pull up, catch and shot, spot up, drive. He has court vision. He's, again, the athleticism, and he does have some potential on defense, which, could really make him at least a 3-and-D guy at worst. And like I said, if he just, the big thing with him, one of the big things with him is his motor. And if he learns more how to be a point guard, I mean, even at the point guard spot, I think you can make it work, to be honest with him. I think he'd be a nice fit. He's, again, he could be a good scorer for us. He's a great free throw shooter, so even coming off the bench, I think he would fit well for us. I think he'd definitely be someone that'd be worth taking, especially in the second round. I mean, right now he's like, 97, so he's about, he's not super young. He's about, 21, around 20, 21. So he's, again, a little more on the older side, but still, I could still see him as someone that we would be able to draft. And to be honest, with a second-round pick, I wouldn't be mad about it. He's 6'2", 180. Even as an undersized 2, I mean, he can make it work. Or, like I said, kind of the same thing with Anthony Simmons, move D'Lo to the shooting guard spot and have one of these guys play point guard, maybe not necessarily be the ball handler every time, but still be be next to D'Lo and, be a good shooter and possible scorer for them at that point. But tell me what you guys think and some other guys that you might recommend us taking in the draft. Like I said, with any of these guys, I wouldn't debate them on it. I actually would like any of these guys. And you can kind of tell that they're going for a certain mold, of course, especially with, all, the comparisons with Sean Marks and Kenny Atkinson really embracing that Spurs kind of style. I could really see them going with the guys with length that could shoot. Any guys, that could pass the ball around, which would fit in with playmaking skills that would fit in with the system. But like I said, those are some guys that I can see the team. This the needs. Kind of how I feel about the recent trade getting Dwight Howard, but then also, looking at some potential guys that they could draft. Like I said, tell me what you guys think. Subscribe for more videos. Give this video a like if you enjoyed the content. And besides that, I'm out.